Trump'ın Kripto Rezervi, sizin için ne anlama geliyor kripto? Trump'ın Kripto Rezervi duyurusunun sonuçlarını ve piyasa üzerindeki etkisini keşfedin.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are unpacking some pretty major news that just dropped in the crypto world. President Trump just announced that the U.S. is going to create a crypto strategic reserve. And it's really kind of sent these shockwaves through the markets. And we've got a stack of articles here that we're going to kind of dive into about this announcement, talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, even some altcoins like XRP, Solana, Cardano. And, I think a lot of people listening are probably wondering, what does crypto strategic reserve even mean? And what could it mean for me?
Well, it is a bold move for sure, to think about the U.S. holding a massive store of cryptocurrency, kind of like how countries have reserves of oil or gold. It's meant to give them stability and influence and maybe even some power on the global stage.
Okay, so that makes sense. So Trump is basically saying that the U.S. is going all in on crypto.
It seems that way, yeah. And the markets have definitely taken notice. Bitcoin surged almost 10% right after the announcement, breaking 93,000. Ethereum saw a nice bump too, but some of those altcoins that you mentioned, like Cardano, went absolutely ballistic. We're talking jumps of like 60% or even more.
Wow, that is wild. But I have to admit, I am a little confused. The articles mentioned that Bitcoin was actually struggling before this announcment, having its worst month since 2022. So why the sudden surge?
It's all about perception. This announcement sends a signal that the U.S. government sees value and legitimacy in crypto, and that kind of endorsement from government can have a huge impact on the market.
So you're saying this is more about like confidence than anything else?
Exactly. Investors see the U.S. getting involved and think, okay, maybe crypto really is the future. It's like a stamp of approval from the government.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's get down to brass tacks. How would this reserve even work?
Yeah.
Where's the money coming from?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? There are some theories floating around. Some experts think that the government might use funds from the U.S. Treasury, or maybe even tapping into assets that they've seized from criminals.
Interesting. I did see that Trump mentioned this being tied to his executive order on digital assets, which talked about creating a national digital asset stockpile, potentially from seized crypto.
Right. But there is a difference between a stockpile and a reserve. A stockpile is more like holding on to what they already have. A reserve suggests that they'll be actively buying more crypto on a regular basis. Think of it like constantly adding to a savings account.
Okay, so this isn't just a one-time thing. They're planning to invest consistently in crypto.
It seems that way, yeah. And that's a big shift from what we saw under the Biden administration, which was all about tighter regulations and a more cautious approach to crypto.
Right, so this is basically flipping the script on crypto policy.
Sure.
But what do you think this means for the U.S.'s role in the global crypto landscape?
This is where it gets really interesting. This move could put the U.S. in direct competition with countries like El Salvador, which have already made Bitcoin legal tender. It's like they're trying to catch up and become the leader in this new financial world.
So you're saying this could be a power play to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world, like Trump claims.
Exactly. But there are a lot of unanswered questions. How will other countries react? What will this mean for the dollar's dominance in global finance?
Okay, so we've talked about the market's initial reaction, the possible funding and the political motivations behind this move. But let's bring it back to you, the listener. What does this actually mean for your wallet? Should you be rushing out to buy Bitcoin right now?
Well, it's definitely a sign that crypto is becoming more mainstream and accepted by governments. But as with any investment, you shouldn't just jump on the bandwagon because of a single news announcement. Do your research and understand the risks involved before you invest in anything.
That's a great point. But on the other hand, some people might argue that this is the perfect time to jump in while prices are rising and the market is hot.
That's true. There's always that potential for short-term gains, but remember, crypto is still very volatile. What goes up can come down just as quickly.
Okay, so proceed with caution, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Now, what about the impact on the U.S. dollar? Could this move challenge its role as the world's leading currency?
That's a question that economists are grappling with right now. Some see this as a way for the U.S. to stay ahead of the curve in the global financial system, adapting to this new world of digital currencies.
So it's like a way to ensure the U.S. dollar remains relevant, even if crypto takes off.
Exactly. It's about evolving with the times. But others worry that embracing crypto could actually weaken the dollar's position in the long run. It's a complex issue with a lot of uncertainty.
It definitely feels like the world of finance is changing right before our eyes.
Yeah.
And it's really exciting. It felt a little nerve-wracking to be a part of it.
It's like watching a financial revolution unfold in real time. Now let's delve deeper into the potential risks and opportunities this crypto reserve could bring. One of the biggest risks, I think, as these articles highlight, is, what this could mean for the average person who might not even be invested in crypto yet. Could this impact things like inflation or even their retirement savings?
Whoa, that's a thought. I hadn't even considered that angle.
It's all connected. If the value of the dollar fluctuates wildly because of this move, it could have these ripple effects throughout the whole economy.
That's a bit unsettling, but I guess any big change comes with risks, right?
Yeah.
What about the potential opportunities, though? The articles mentioned this could be like a catalyst for innovation and growth in the U.S. crypto industry.
Absolutely. Think about it with the U.S. government throwing its weight behind crypto. It could attract more investment, more talent, and more companies to the space. We could see a whole new wave of blockchain technologies and applications emerging.
So maybe this could lead to like more user-friendly crypto platforms or even new industries that we haven't even thought of yet.
Exactly. It's like opening up a whole new frontier for innovation, but of course there's the flip side to that coin regulation.
Right. The articles also brought up concerns about potential overregulation.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance.
Yeah.
With the government more involved, we could see clearer guidelines for trading taxation and consumer protection, and that could make the crypto world more accessible and less risky for the average person.
So regulation isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Not at all. It could actually be beneficial, but it has to be done right. If regulations are too strict or stifle innovation, it could drive away, talented developers and entrepreneurs, hurting the U.S.'s position in the global crypto market.
It's like they need to find that sweet spot between protecting people and letting the industry flourish.
Exactly. It's a tightrope walk, for sure. Now, another thing to consider is a global impact. What if this move by the U.S. sets off a chain reaction?
Oh, you mean like other countries rushing to establish their own crypto reserves?
Yeah.
That's kind of like a global crypto arms race?
Exactly. It could lead to increased competition and even faster innovation as countries try to outdo each other in the crypto space.
That's pretty mind-blowing. And it makes you wonder what it could mean for like the balance of power on the world stage.
It's hard to predict, but this is definitely a game changer. Now let's zoom back in and look at the potential impact on stablecoins.
Okay, so we've talked about how this crypto reserve could impact countries and even the average person, but the articles also mentioned stablecoins. How could this shake things up for them?
Well, stablecoins are really interesting because, they're designed to be less volatile than other cryptocurrencies. They're usually pegged to the value of something stable, like the US dollar.
So they're kind of like a bridge between the traditional financial world and the Wild West of crypto.
Exactly. And if the US government is holding this massive reserve of cryptocurrency, it could lead to more stablecoins being backed by those reserves, which would theoretically make them even more stable.
That makes sense. More backing equals more stability. It's almost like the government is vouching for them in a way. Do you think this could make stablecoins more appealing to businesses and everyday people?
Absolutely. If people feel like stablecoins are safer and less risky, they might be more likely to use them for things like online purchases or even paying their bills.
That's pretty exciting. It could really open up the possibilities for how we use crypto in our daily lives.
It could be a game changer, for sure. Now, we can't talk about government involvement in crypto without mentioning the elephant in the room. Central bank digital currencies or CBDCs.
Ah, yes, the digital yuan, the digital dollar, that whole debate. The articles touched on this, but I'll admit I'm still a bit fuzzy on the detail.
Okay, well, think of CBDCs as digital versions of a country's existing currency. So instead of using physical cash or bank transfers, you'd have a digital form of the US dollar or the Chinese yuan, controlled by the central bank.
Okay, so it's like Venmo or Apple Pay, but backed and controlled by the government.
You got it. And with countries all over the world exploring CBDCs, this move by the U.S. to create a crypto reserve could be seen as a way to stay competitive.
It's like they're saying, hey, we're embracing the future of finance too.
Exactly. It's a strategic play to maintain influence and leadership in a world where digital currencies are becoming more and more important. It's fascinating to see how all of these pieces fit together, Crypto reserves, stable coins, CBDCs. It's like a giant puzzle, and we're just starting to see the picture emerge.
It's definitely a lot to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
But I think the key takeaway here is that The world of finance is changing right before our eyes. Crypto is becoming more mainstream, and governments are starting to take notice.
It's a time of tremendous change, and it's hard to say exactly what the future holds. But one thing is clear. The way we think about money and finance is being challenged and redefined.
And who knows, maybe we're witnessing the birth of a whole new financial system.
It's definitely a possibility. And that's what makes this so exciting, you know? There's a sense of potential and possibility that's contagious.
I have to agree. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, exploring the potential impact of Trump's crypto reserve. What are some final thoughts you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important thing is to stay informed and engaged, you know? The world of crypto is evolving rapidly, and it's crucial to keep up with the latest developments. Do your research, explore different perspectives, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's great advice. We here at The Deep Dive will continue to explore these topics and bring you the insights you need to navigate this ever-changing landscape.
It's been a fascinating conversation. Always a pleasure to delve into these complex subjects with you.
The pleasure was all mine.
Yeah.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of crypto. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving.